Peter. All righty. The recording has officially started. That means that our class is also starting. So good to see new names, but also known names. So yes, it's always good to be able to impact you in any way that I can. I'm coming today with a brand new training that is going to really help you to analyze, number one, what are you doing right now that is growing your business, and where are you going? Where are you heading? What is that big picture? And also, I'm going to be sharing some amazing strategies that are working right now. Some of them are going to be strategies that you can just implement right away. And some of them are going to be strategies that will come with resources for you to get them done without you having to even learn, which is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So let me make sure that I am able to share my screen. Present, you know the drill with at this point we should be Zoom experts, right? Oh my gosh. All right, so present here, and my Zoom is share screen. I love when I get to share all my screen just to avoid any mistakes. Now, if I can bring you back here, then I can see you in the corner. Okay, I just need one favor. Can you write on the chat if you can see my screen very well? So in that way, I can just have the chat here. Can you see my screen? Yes, can you see my screen? Yep. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, great. So definitely we're more than ready to go. So lead gen for home services. This class, I call this Boost Your Bookings with 8 internet strategies for home service professionals. And I love that Dee is here because she is in the real estate industry. And this is great because not only she's going to be learning things that apply in her industry, but also she's going to be able to become a valuable resource for other service providers who can actually be referral partners for her. So smart, my friend. It's so good to see you. Always, always, always great to see you, to connect. I know David as well. Zenpools, always just good to see you guys. So yeah, we're here for a treat. And those of you who are watching the recording, don't be shy. Make sure that you connect and make sure that you just send back any questions that you have. If I'm going too fast or if there's something that you need more clarification on, our goal is just to help you to really understand beyond kind of like the textbook. How can you implement, how can, in layman terms, you can actually grow your business? Okay, so 8 internet strategies for home service professionals. Notice how I'm actually kind of like putting things a little bit more basic. I think that in the end, entrepreneurs have a particular goal, and very often, I would say more than what we want to admit, we kind of like fall in the trap, and we sometimes kind of like get busy in the getting busy, in the getting ready, and sometimes when that happens, we need to take 3 steps back, analyze, and be able to kind of take a 30-feet approach and see, okay, how is my business going like over here? And what are options for me to just kind of like grow? And I also believe that very often the growth, it's not about you going through and pushing, pushing, pushing. Very often growth is going to look like you're going to jump over. You're going to jump over. There's no need for pushing anything. In fact, the best opportunities have come to me when I have been able to just kind of like meet that opportunity by doing the jump. You probably have heard this, that your best opportunity is going to be when you're stepping out of that comfort zone. This is not the first time, right? So from that perspective and from that framework, I want to come today to help you with the things that I have seen that are moving the needle in the home services professionals. And again, when I say home services professionals, I'm not just limiting to the industry, but I believe there's a reason why I am picking the home services professionals. It's that when I see the numbers of industries that are actually booming, especially in our market in Austin and Austin city limits, as you know, the real estate has exploded so much, especially when you combine the last 5 years all together. We have seen a growth that Dee can tell us and can educate us with the right and exact numbers. Like our real estate market is just like so huge. And because of that, there is actually the need to serve homeowners or even renters, right? Like we have more people than ever. The growth has been just amazing. And because of that, I am going to focus on really helping you to stand out from the crowd, really helping you to like get your business off the ground and go to that next level. Now, I think that you and I have met before, and mainly because I usually never advertise any of my opportunities. I actually take pride on telling you that everything that we do to grow our company is 100% organic. In fact, for this webinar in particular, I tried to do an ad using social media and it was so expensive. I have never seen prices of advertising so expensive than now. And then actually we have been helping a cleaning company. Same thing. Okay. The price for advertising, the price per clicks have increased, I would say 10x. It is crazy. So to give you some concrete examples, I was boosting this ad just to get people to sign up to this class. And I put like $25 a day. By day 2, nothing was happening. My ad was not even being shown in front of like 10,000 people, not even. And then I'm like, okay, so let me see if I put like $200 a day. And usually in the past, when you do that, Facebook would get crazy and would just get you people. Guys, we were at like $800 ad spend. I think I got like one sign up. It's crazy. It is crazy. And I said, okay, no, we need to keep going with what is working, which is the organic, which is the connections. And you probably are here because you're feeling the same, right? Like advertising versus organic marketing. I think that advertising is really hard to see that you're going to see that return on investment. First of all, the barrier of entry is so high because probably, especially if you are in the home services industry, you have big players that are already dominating that ad space. And because of that, for you to compete, you're going to come up with so much money up front without even knowing if that's going to work. On top of that, you probably are going to agree with me in this. Usually when people find you online, they're going to be finding the best deal for them. They're not going to be the best clients necessarily. It's not even close to compare when somebody comes referred by a friend that you like to be working with that person and you know already their energy and it's just better. Can you write on the chat? How do you feel about this? Do you rather work with somebody that, just found you on a Groupon or something versus somebody that came referred by a friend? I'm very sure that you have experiences to share with the group here that you will agree with what I'm saying, right? It's a sentiment that I have, found that is what, entrepreneurs and business owners have in common, especially when you're working in the local market. You want to make sure that you're not going to waste the most precious resource that you have, which is time. All right. So in a nutshell, I know that you guys know about me. And if you're here, you know about me, but I also know that is sometimes very difficult to pinpoint one of the things that I can do because I have been on this marketing space for more than 10 years. And before that, I was a construction law attorney for about 7 years. So I have been an entrepreneur, meaning I have never had a job since I was 26 years old. I'm considered myself as a rebel. I am resilience. I have mastered resilience. I'm a dream maker, community builder, author, trainer, mom, friend, and most importantly, today I'm on a mission to activate your greatness. And I say one entrepreneur at a time. And one of the things that I do, and that's why it's kind of hard to keep up because every time every time I find something that is helping my business in my business and is helping my clients, you bet I share. And that has been my secret ingredient that I also share with you, that it's part of the secret ingredient. I believe that the more you give, the more you get. And that's why you see that I put classes and I don't hold back. Okay. So today I wanted to be able to ask me any questions, anything that you want to learn, anything that you want to kind of get some clarification on any topic, even if it's something that I'm not covering today, feel free to ask. And if I feel like I have a couple of minutes, I can do it. And if not, we can always just, send a question and your answer via email and things like that. So that's who I am. Okay. You can find me if you Google me and you will see the work I have done. And what I want to do is that you guys that are here on the chat and you guys that are going to be connecting online, let's get you connected. I want to know from you, who is an ideal referral for you? Is there an area where you want to get more referrals from? Is there an area where you want to get customers from? Okay, so I would love, love, love to know, how can I help you getting connected? Guys, in the last 30 days, especially 30 days, I feel like when the fall is coming, in the marketing arena, we get more busy. And it's because I feel like business owners are starting to feel that the year is about to end and they just need to do something right before the year ends. So I have been navigating multiple networks from eWoman Network, networks from Austin Woman Magazine. I actually was hired to speak at a convention from NABO, which is National Association of Women in Business. That association, I highly, highly, highly recommend you to just explore that organization. I learned so much. And it was very impressive to be around women actually that have built companies from 0 to 1 million, then to 5 to 50, 500 million. And I was like, holy cow. Like it's serious growth. And it's beautiful to see that the fundamentals for growing a business won't change. What happens is very often we get kind of intimidated. And if we don't take the time to do that vision analysis and that view from that 30 feet approach, we get busy in the busy and then we don't grow. So I want to know, because I'm going to be networking even more. And I want to know, right? Like, who do you want to be connected with and how can we support you? Right? So very, very, very key. Always here to give you value. So I think I told you a little bit about this in the beginning and why I picked the home services industry. But when it comes to how are you going to approach your lead generation activities, you need to be mindful that because of COVID, because of the growth, because you're not the only one who spotted that opportunity, now the market is just more competitive. We have seen more franchises, starting, and typically when somebody starts a franchise, they come with more capital. We have seen more brands that are penetrating the market. For instance, as you may know, Amazon now is adding services. We also know that there are marketplaces like Thumbtack, that they are just full of marketplace opportunities. We know that Houzz, which is a marketplace where you just would share pictures and get inspiration, now also has a marketplace. So make no mistake, they want to take a share from how you can find clients, and they are going to charge you money for that. I don't know if you guys have tried Thumbtack, but Thumbtack will charge you if they send you a connection. Okay, we have tried that because one of our clients recommended us to go on Thumbtack. I actually listed one deal to see how Thumbtack worked, and that deal was like, I can make a landing page for like $500. Guess what? Just to get the connection, to get the information from one person, Thumbtack charged me $246 for one connection that to this day, they never answered. So it came to my attention that when I talk to other business owners, that what Thumbtack does, and same with Angie's List, they actually send the same contact to multiple providers and everybody pays the same amount for that bid. Hello. I mean, that's just a lot, right? It's a lot, and it's not easy to scale when you're talking about those numbers. So because of that, it is more profitable to work with organic strategies, to work with local search, which is Google Maps, to also work with social media, and to do a little bit more of YouTube. And you will learn today a couple of the strategies that I consider that are hacks, because when you see the results that we're seeing organically, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm ready to do this. Okay. So yeah, there's definitely a change that has been happening because of that, growth, and the way that users are now engaging with brands, and just a more competition, correct? Now, that creates a problem, right? So to stay competitive, you need to understand that no longer whatever was, working in the past is working now. And one of the conversations I actually was having with a realtor is that I said, instead of just targeting Austin, for example, or targeting a city, it's going to be better if you target maybe a development. If you target, let's say, I am in Leander, I live in Bryson. Well, there's like 1,000 homes there. Can you become the number one realtor for Bryson? Can you talk about how is living there? Can you pick, for example, another big development that is around us, Santa Rita Ranch? Can you pick an area in South Austin? So now we're seeing that instead of just going general and target the city, you can be the expert of a particular development and then talk about it, but not just in one place, not just in one Instagram platform. I want you to be talking about it everywhere, especially in YouTube and especially in Maps. Okay. So let's get going. I don't know if you're a fan of Cody Sanchez. If you're not, I highly, highly, highly recommend you to follow her. I love her content. It's so straightforward. And in fact, Cody has been known for being a subject expert in recommending businesses to invest in non-sexy businesses, right? So there's a stat that she's sharing here that is so resonating with me, especially because I have 4 kids. The oldest is 23. My little one is 9 years old. And then I have a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old. And guys, if you ask them if they want to start like a business, a traditional business, they're going to say no. They're really dreaming with becoming YouTubers and influencers and getting money in affiliate marketing. They're not thinking about working. Now, that also creates an opportunity, which means that those of us who are not even afraid of putting the work and putting the effort, we have more chances to take those non-sexy businesses and make millions. And now I also heard, when I went this week to the convention of NABO, that there are certain buckets that where you can find actually support from the Small Business Administration. If you are actually like, a woman-owned certified, there's a couple of certifications that can get you to find like help and support. So there's a combination here between the opportunity and who's taking that driver's seat, and then who is actually, putting the work, right? Now, time to learn. And I put a question mark here because I also read this amazing book. I'm busy, but I always just take the time to learn strategies, especially strategies that are recommended by mentors that I trust. And Ed Mylett happens to be one of my favorite mentors. If you are not following Ed Mylett, I highly, highly, highly recommend you. So it all started with listening to this podcast, which I'm going to be playing you 1 minute, and I want you to listen to this. So it's so fascinating.
2x is, like, as an example, you mentioned 1 million copies of the book. So if I'm going for 2x, one of the reasons it's difficult is it was already hard to get here. And so going for 2x means that I'm going for more of what I've already done. It's me operating from the present towards the future. And it's also heavily complex because the goal is from here to here, it's very linear. I actually can't fully distinguish the things that are truly working. Using the 80-20 principle, I can't fully parse them apart because it's not a big enough goal. So one of the reasons why 10x is a lot easier, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is that the goal is so big, even hopefully seemingly impossible, given the timeline, that it forces you to ask really hard questions. It forces you to ask, what are the few things that actually have upside? What are the few things, those 20% of things using the 80-20? What are the very few things that have big upside? And then it forces you to be a lot more honest. Okay. So
Mhm. It all started with that question. What are the few things that can move the needle? And also, before that question, it was when you think about 2x versus 10x, you will realize that your 10x goal, which is your impossible goal, the biggest goal that you can think, okay, you're going to realize that there are a few things that will take you to that goal, a few pathways that will take you to that goal. And you will realize that time is precious. And you will realize that the things that you're doing now, most of them are not going to take you to that 10x goal. And my friend, I highly, highly, highly recommend you to take some time and think about that. Now, what is your 10x goal? Like, what exactly did you want to achieve when you became an entrepreneur? Because let's face it, entrepreneurship is not for everybody because you don't have that, like certainty, right? It's not that you're going to get a secured paycheck, right? But there's a reason why you're doing it. There's a reason why you want to do this. And a couple of people, when I share this conversation, I hear things like, well, I'm transitioning. I got tired of blank. I know that I can do blank. And I just, want to enjoy my life, right? So what do you want? How does that 10x goal look like for you? Is it that you're going to diversify revenue streams? How many revenue streams? Do you want to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10? How many? Is it because you want to scale your operations? And when you scale operations, you're going to be able to see more revenue? Is it that you want to acquire local businesses? And in that way, you don't have to be focusing too much on finding new clients, but you're going to be more strategic about finding who has found more clients. And because of that, you're going to grow without putting all the effort. Is it that you're going to be turning your current business into a franchise model? And now you're going to get paid in royalties. Is it that you want to get some cash from what you're doing now and then reinvest? Is it that you want to have cash flow to do other things? Is it that you want to have passive income? I want you to think about that 10x goal. And it can be a goal that you might be thinking, well, when I get to this, then I do this. When I get to this, then I'll be able to do this, right? So how does that 10x goal look like? If money was not an obstacle, if knowledge or lack of knowledge was not an obstacle, how does that look like? And when I did that exercise, I realized that there were so many things that I was doing that are not really compatible with that 10x goal. And I can tell you, so I first started in the marketing industry as a marketing consultant. And the reason why I started as a marketing consultant is because I was basically for 6 years navigating the waters of personal branding, community building, and affiliate marketing. And I did really, really, really good. And when I realized that I had made those companies millions, I said, it's time for me to do something that I can get more control, because in the end, I was not building my own company. I was working for other companies. Like I said, I was an affiliate for them. And quite frankly, my coaching industry hit a plateau. I realized that I could not break more than 6 figures. I could not multiply myself. And I would just say, maybe I'm just a turbo leader. Maybe I just need more money for advertising, more resources. And then it's like, no, I just need to increase my transaction value. And that's when I acquired a marketing agency that came with their systems, that came with services that could give us a much higher transaction value. Now, 2 years into the marketing agency, I'm not changing the services, but I'm definitely changing the scope of our work because, quite frankly, we are so much into helping people and we can do everything, but we don't have to do everything. You see, that was my aha moment. I don't have to do everything. In fact, I can pick the services that we do and streamline the ones that are super simple to scale. Not everything from the services industry is scalable. Why? Because then you need to have more hours. And if you don't have more hours, you need to find more people, right? If you get to read the book that I just recommended to you, you will find lots of stories like that. And you will actually, there's a story about a real estate agent that got to be number one at Keller Williams in one of the regions. And the way is to implementing the 80-20 rule. 80% of the things that you're doing are not going to be the ones that move the needle. Only 20% of the things that are going to move the needle are the ones that matter. And because of that, it is time for us to do some cleanup and to really see from this framework, what is it that I'm going to be doing to grow my business? And that's the 80-20 rule implemented in the following framework, okay? Step number 1, what is your 10x goal? Step number 2, what is the pathway that will take you there? Identify what are the things that definitely will take you there without you having to add more hours or without you even feeling like you're going to be losing your life in the pursuit of that goal. Step number 3 is from the things that you're doing today, what are the things that are compatible with that 10x goal? Whatever is not, it's not going to be part of your to-do list anymore, which is hard. It's hard. It's difficult, but if it's not now, when? When are we going to be working towards the things that are truly matter, that truly matter for us, right? To me, that was like a huge aha moment. And that's why I'm like, no. This is a great exercise for us to have that framework, for us to really put into perspective what matters the most, which is what moves the needle, right? Guys, I mean, time doesn't come back. Time doesn't come back. So more hours on your calendar is not going to be giving you more return on your investment by any means, okay? So strategy number 1, internet domination. When we think about the internet, I no longer will be recommending to you that you come and learn, okay, how to post on social media, how to grow your Instagram channel, how to grow on Facebook, how to do Facebook groups. No, at this point, you have to have internet domination. You want that when people search what you do near you, what you do near the particular sector or segment or address where you live or the community, like I was mentioning before, I want that you dominate a corner on that market, okay? And again, it doesn't have to be that you're the number 1 in Austin. I want you to dominate one corner, period. Whether that is Crystal Falls, whether that is like, and I want to do this exercise. Do you have a corner in mind that you want to dominate? Share on the chat. I want to keep you accountable with that because I want to be Googling you and see if you're dominating that corner. So strategy number 1, instead of just going after any city or any town, right? And then trying to duplicate all of that, just focus on dominating one particular corner of that marketplace. You're going to be able to be known and you're going to have the chance to be known probably by around 5,000 people. What is better? 5,000 people that know you and like you and trust you, or 5 million people where you have to pay and have no idea what you do and also will be comparing you with 5,000 other competitors? Is this making sense, guys? Is this making sense? Put me on the chat. I want to make sure that you're following me on this. Internet domination. How can you achieve that? The best way to start your internet domination is using Google Maps. Google Maps is free. And if you provide content that allows you to dominate that market share, you're going to win that, okay? This is just one example. if, for a company that does, natural stones, see the different versions of how to dominate for natural stones, right? Natural stones, natural pebbles, natural gemstone. These all comes information that is available from Google, right? So that's strategy number one. Now, how can we implement this strategy? And this is to say that it's just very common. When you don't know that you don't know is costing you business. So for you, a takeaway can be, well, how can you find where do you stand on the map? How can you find what is your status? What is your position? In our words, that's called your ranking, right? And typically rankings are considered nationwide. But the beauty is that when you just put your goal to be known in a particular segment, it gets easier because now it's considered to be like a niche strategy. Yes, guys, that's working tremendously. So put it there as a to-do. Just know where you stand. Know where you're starting today. Strategy number 2. This channel is proof that this is working like cupcakes. So YouTube Shorts. And I think in my last class, some of you came and I talk about this. And I talk about the channel that I started for my husband. Okay. And as you can see, there's no name here. He's not mentioning his name or anything. We have been just posting a video a day. And what we do is just we post daily. We post around the same time. We text a few friends. And just by doing that, in the first month, this channel has reached 66,000 views. Okay. Actually, this is just the last 30 days. In total, 121,000 views. It's just crazy. And these are very, very little and short videos that all we do is just kind of memes videos. And I just highly recommend that you do the same. Okay, you can raise awareness and you can share links. That's the beauty of YouTube. And I'm not even saying that you need to be filming yourself and teaching anything or being on camera. Nothing. These are very simple videos. Okay, that's a great hack. So that's strategy number 2. Number 3 is posting relevant content. Remember when I told you that the goal is to get you to corner a market? The way that you're going to do that is that I need you to have a website that will allow you to post content about that particular market corner that you want to just dominate. And let's say that you want to facilitate, fence repair. Well, you're going to be the expert of repairing fences, and then you're going to be targeting that particular zone. Now, because of how much competition there is out there, I am recommending to do content batching. And what that means is that you put content, but you put it a lot of content. To give you an idea, in the past, we would say that a good content production recommendation would have 1 blog post per week. Guys, we have clients that hire us to do 1 blog post per day. And the beauty of this is that it is possible. And I want you to just find a virtual assistant that can do this for you. You can find them on Fiverr. You can find them on Upwork. We have found them. We have trained them. And we have actually amazing virtual assistants that can allow us to do essentially the work of the writers. And then we do the SEO work. So the articles are actually fully optimized for content that we know that works for local because we live here, right? We know what is relevant. We know your audience. And because of that, we're going to have the best of both worlds, the cheaper labor with the combination of the expert knowledge that allows us to scale. For comparison purposes, I put you there. Our package with 15 articles is $1,000. You can do that 1 month and you can just see how much closer you can get or how much higher you can be on the ranks, right? And that's amazing strategy. Again, relevant content, but relevant for that market share that you want to dominate. Okay. That's why I say here, think local, but act global. You have to act like brands that are just working to have a global audience. This one, I don't think I need to teach you this one, right? Build a network. We know that usually referral networks work very, very, very good. However, when I started to combine the efforts of building a network and actively connecting people one to the other, meaning every Friday, I would just sit down on my computer and I would just check my business cards. Okay. And I will be like, hey, you know what? This week I met 3 new people. And then I know that I can get connected these 3 people with, with the people that I already know. I don't have too much time now to do that, which is one of the things that I'm going to be delegating because it did work tremendously. So building a network, it's beyond attending to networking events. You need to have a system that allows you to grow your network and to connect them, to add value in their lives. Guys, when you do that, I promise you, it comes back to you. Now, especially if you're going to be building networks and adding value, and a big player is going to be hearing about you. It all takes one person to recommend you so that you can be in front of hundreds, not even thousands, right? So you have seen me. Guys, I'm not from Austin. I'm not even from Texas. I'm not even from the US. How I have been able to meet so many people, okay? How I lead with value, I connect people, and I just, go with my open heart and say, how can I serve you? How can I serve you? If you do that, as you know, that works. So you probably know this, but this can be a refresher for you. Now, just know that connecting with your network and getting your network connected is going to be part of that 20% because you're going to be attracting those big players. Don't lose that from your sight. The other strategy that is really, really, really good is party. Okay. Why is this? Because when you are in a social environment, you're more loose, you're more relaxed. And if you actually get together with your clients, they're going to be talking with each other. They're going to see value, they're going to find value, and that is going to help you strengthening your relationships. We have used that a lot, especially when you're pivoting, when you're just talking about new projects, when you can discuss like what is it that you want to achieve. Now that you have that 10x goal, I want you to be more mindful and think, who can help me getting there? Who is a great resource for you, right? And when you think about that, and then you create opportunities that are more strategic, and you get to hang out in circles where you're going to be closer to those big players. So yes, party, it's part of the strategy, and you can quote me there. The other one that I love a lot is custom gifts. Okay. Custom gifts. What I mean with that. In fact, this week, when I went to the conference of Novo, the one I told you I was a speaker of a panel discussing AI. They were talking about the power of custom candles, and they were talking about the fact that when you actually like smell something, your brain kind of like gets active, and then you create a memory. You remember that more than when you read something or when you listen to something. And I was like, ooh, I need to share this. I need to share this with my friends. Now, it makes sense. When you think about that, it does make sense. So now I'm telling you, now I am looking for somebody that can create custom candles for the prospects that I want to impress, that I want to send something that is very particular, very special, and very personalized. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that you want to send that you have a lead that is like an influencer and is that big player that you want to impress. Well, guess what? If you send that person, let's say it's the founder of a big company or the CEO, somebody that is on the C-suite, and you want to get through those decision makers, create a package, create a custom candle, create a note and say, hey, this candle was specially made for you because we know that you like this, and that. And we added this scent that is going to remember your trip to, Italy, or when you were, eating like, your favorite like chocolate cake or whatever, you will have access to that information, because what is happening is you're going to go after people that have a public life, right? I'm a great example for that. So if you guys want to practice with me, send me stuff and I can give you my critique. So yes, custom gifts are great, great, great for that. That's why I said leverage micro influencers and send them gifts. They are going to share that. They're going to share that. You're going to be kind of like going through the corner. The other strategy is, instead of just targeting individuals, I want you to think about family, the family, the family in general. And those of you who are realtors in the home services industries, right? Not only you're fixing, like if you go and paint their house, you're not just painting the house for the person that pays you. You're painting the house for the family. So what experiences can you create for the entire family? Can you think about the events that they would like to enjoy? Ask the ages, think about the age range, right? And then customize those experiences. I actually was working with a realtor when we were renting the first 5 years when that we came here to Austin. We were renting and we moved 5 times in 5 years until we were able to buy a home. In fact, the house that we live right now in Leander, we purchased that house and it was October 15, 2018. I will never forget. It was such an emotional and important moment for us. We took our kids to the closing. And guess what? My kids said, "Mom, that is John the realtor." Why do you think my kids knew John by just looking at him? Because John will take the time and the effort to curate family events. And he would send a magnet that I always had on my fridge. And it had a picture of John. And he would just always just send us like fun events. Consider this, we were new in Austin. We didn't have any other connection than John. And John became our resource for many, many things. The other things that John would have done and did to us, it was just so fascinating. During October, he would just deliver a pumpkin with paint, and then would text me, "Hey, I drop off some pumpkins so you guys can have some fun. Just let me know, if you got it, right?" Hot cocoa packs, a pie, make them feel special. You see where we're going? You see where we're going? I want to read what are your thoughts on this, because I think this is a way that you can just cut through the noise, right? Now, you came here today because you wanted to learn how to increase your bookings. And I just share with you ideas so that you can cut through the lead generation and you can get them to know about you. Now, if you don't have your booking system in a way that makes them easy to book the appointments with you or the services with you, then we're not going to move forward, right? So because of that, I just have here like a checklist, and I wanted to make sure that you have an online calendar added to your website. I want you to make sure that your website is looking good, it's mobile friendly, and that people can actually book the appointments from their mobile, from their cell phones. If you have an app, even better. I know that some of you have access to some apps, so that's great. Now, if you are using social media, which I'm highly recommending, make sure that you have the booking links. On Instagram, for example, those booking links are going to be on your stories, highlights, on the Instagram highlights. On your Facebook, they can be in the bio that you have on your Facebook, on the links under your About section, okay? Make sure that you're leveraging every corner where you can place a link. And of course, on Google My Business, you are going to add your catalog of offerings with links so people can book your services or your appointments, or even like if you have particular things that you sell online. I want you to be very, very conscious, because sometimes it's not that you are needing more eyeballs to see your information, is that you're not making their lives easy, and that's why you're not getting more bookings. Okay, so I promise you I promise you that it was going to be a short class, and I'm super, super happy about it. We're pretty much done with the content, and I'm going to go and ask you if you have any questions. And for that, I'm going to stop the recording. But you have a special gift, so make sure that you take a picture of this. Here, you're going to get to download my book. It's 100 Ways to Client Attraction. If you're coming to my event in the next week, I can give you a copy of the book in person, which is going to be amazing. So make sure that you have that code, and you can download it. And yes, with that being said, let me stop the recording. I know Dee opened the camera. So hello, Dee. Let me stop the recording here, and we will get to go with your questions. Yes, stop the recording.